Album covers, a highly debated topic. To some people, it doesn't make a difference, and to others, a bad album cover could ruin the entire experience of an album. I am one of those people. I wish it wasn't the case, but a bad album cover can genuinely be too distracting, and in some extreme cases, even cause me to stop listening altogether. So I asked you guys for some examples of the worst album covers, and you might be asking yourself, hasn't he made this video already? Well, to be honest, I had to double check, and I haven't, but I have talked about so many bad album covers that it was hard to find ones in the submissions that I haven't gone over a million times already. But I did, and there were honestly some pretty crazy ones in there. Let's talk about that. Green Day's Father of All. This one was submitted quite a few times, and by the name, I could have sworn I already did this one, but seeing the cover, it's very clear I have not. I definitely would have remembered this. There's a lot to unpack in this. First, it says something in like gibberish on the top. I'm sure people know what this says. Oh, it says the same thing. It says the title, but the R is backwards for some reason. That was throwing me off. It looked like hieroglyphics. So to start off, we have the title on here twice, and then we have Green Day splatted on top in what looks like ketchup. Not the most pleasant thing to look at, and it's also the only thing on this cover with that texture, making it feel like the rest of the cover is one thing, and then they took that cover and squirted some ketchup on it. Okay, then we get to the main title, and I see that they wanted to release an album with a curse word in it without really having to commit to it, so they made the hard choice to censor it with a unicorn that's breathing rainbow fire. I'll be honest, guys, that unicorn really tops it off. You take off the unicorn and the ketchup splat, and it's not a bad cover. You put the ketchup Green Day back on, and it's a little worse, but it's still not horrible. That unicorn, though, every aspect of it is ugly. Did they draw that in paint? Why is its tail fire, but its breath / vomit is rainbow? I'm so curious what the story is behind this, if there is one, because you could have done so many things to block out the cuss word in here, other than putting this guy in front of it. Also, the title, Father of All Motherfuckers. I'm trying to figure out the logistics of that, because if you're the father of a motherfucker, wouldn't that mean that the mother is your wife? Iron Maiden's Dance of Death. Oh, this is a good one. I mean, not good, but like, it's bad. Now, these are the kinds of things that will be in the future where AI makes everything look the same. You know, the things that the human brain is capable of. You never know what's going on in there. For real though, this has got to be one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. I'm not sure when this came out. I'm assuming maybe 90s. There's no way that these 3D models looked good at any time though. I thought the last one had a lot of stuff going on. This one just has layers and layers. Beyond the horrifying, uncanny models in here, there's just so many individual things going on. Weird little goblin baby in the front. Got this person doing some impossible acrobatics, and then we got this lady with the neck, and that might be the worst part. That one's gonna stick in my brain. Why is it bent like that? And then this baby on the wolf. Is it supposed to be on the wolf, or is it in front levitating on top of the neck lady's arm? I'm pretty sure they changed the album cover for this one, but surely this had to be a joke. If this was a genuine attempt at a cover, no jokes involved, I hope the designer got the help they needed. How to make a doctor's appointment. Well, I think you mistook this poll for Google, but lucky for you, today's sponsor is Zocdoc. Zocdoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. With more than 150,000 providers across the US, they've got everything from dentistry to dermatology, primary care, eye care, and over 200 others that you can easily search for by specialty. You can even look at thousands of verified patient reviews to give you a better sense of who your doctor is before you commit to booking an appointment, because that's a lot to commit to when they're literally evaluating your health. You can also see their real-time availability and book instantly, with a lot of appointments happening within 24 to 72 hours, sometimes even the same day. And if you don't want to go in person or don't have time, video visits are an option too, which save a lot of time. They're kind of awesome. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to Zocdoc.com/bluster to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's Zocdoc.com/bluster. This message is sponsored by Zocdoc. Back to the video. I think any album cover that uses AI is fair game. This was the top comment on the poll. So first of all, I'm proud of you guys. I'm very glad to know that my audience is generally on the same page when it comes to AI, so give yourselves a round of applause. Second of all, I will be sure to take this into consideration when I make a video about album covers that aren't art. But as far as this video goes, I'm only really counting stuff that is actual art that was made by humans. But I do agree, if you're using AI to make an album cover, especially now, there was a period when it was first starting out where some usage of the experimental new models was alright, like that Lil Yachty album. That is probably the only cover that uses it that I'm okay with, but if it came out at literally any other time, I think I'd lose all respect for Lil Yachty and have the same opinion I have on any other AI album covers, which is ew. Chumbawamba's album cover for Tub Thumper is a nightmare-inducing image that makes me feel like I'm having my soul poked at by toothpicks. Damn, what a vivid scene you just depicted. Oh, I will say I've seen this one probably the most when the topic of bad album covers comes up, other than like Angelic to the Core, obviously, but I've never had to look at it for more than a second. And I think that might be the worst thing I've ever seen. It might be. In contrast to the previous few that we've looked at, it's quite simple. Only two things in the picture. And I gotta say, the Chumbawamba font and the little like outline with the green background, that stuff looks pretty good. Take out that baby and you've got a pretty decent cover. But what the hell is up with this kid, man? The more I stare at it, it's like it's morphing. Like, you know how if you look into the mirror at your face for too long, it'll start changing shapes and freaking you out? This feels like that, but if I was a baby. And you know, if there was a general vibe given off here that I could sense the direction they're trying to go for, maybe I could understand the creepy baby a little. Like a lot of these, I can tell what they're going for. It's just done really badly. But unless they were going for worst album cover of all time, I don't know what I'm supposed to be getting from this. It's got black little demon eyes too. The more I look at it, it looks less like a baby and more just like a nightmarishly disproportionate bald man. I was gonna say some more stuff, but this one's making me a little uncomfortable. I'm just staring at this, feeling my heart rate go up. I think if you tied people down and flashed this in front of them, you could genuinely induce panic. Maybe a heart attack. Kevin Mooney's Baby Goat. It's been a while since I added this one, so I can't remember what it is. But before I pull it up, I'm gonna guess that it's the artist's face weirdly morphed onto a baby's body. Oh my god, it's so much worse than as disgusting as this one is. That's kind of funny as hell. I don't ever want to be looking at this, but it's kind of iconic. I love the father goat there in support. He's so happy about his son, Kevo Mooney, being born. Now, what does the GME stand for? Goat Maker Extreme? Obviously, the G is goat, right? Goat Machine Enterprise? Oh, no. I got it. Greatest mother ever. And what is that chain he has on while he's being birthed? Dude's got like a whole ass passport on his neck. Oh, it says his name on it too. Maybe that is his identification. I think my favorite thing about this entire piece is that he specified that GOAT was an acronym with the periods in between, with this entire scene implying that he is literally born from goats. Born to be a goat, you might say. It's his destiny, biologically. Despite all that, he had to make sure that, you know, he's talking about the greatest of all time. He's not talking about actual goats. This is just a silly little scene, because the metaphor greatest of all time also happens to be the word goat. But don't worry, he's not talking about literal goats. That would just be called a kid. He's implying that he's the greatest, and evidently that he was born with identification on it. Genre Sad Boy by MGK and Trippie Redd. Now this one just doesn't look real. This genuinely looks like they had talked about having a collaborative project, but it never came out and there was no art for it or anything. So the people of Tumblr decided to take the one picture that they took together and put the title over it with a little film grain filter. It's pretty insane that this is actually the cover. I remember seeing this announced and there was part of me that thought maybe it's ironic. This could be pretty funny if ironic and the music is actually good, but then you hear the music in this album, it sounds very much like the cover. And hey, I don't know MGK or Trippie Redd, so they might be very genuine in feeling these kind of ways. They might not even realize how cringy the cover is and the album, but the vibe it gives off is just like they're trying so hard to have this sad boy aesthetic. MGK's not even looking at the camera for this picture. He's so sad. He's unbothered, you know, he doesn't even care that they're making an album cover right now. Trippie Redd is like, yeah, whatever. I guess we're making an album. I guess it's called Genre Sad Boy. I literally don't even care. One thing that I do like, kinda, is that the colon is at least directly in the middle. Very small thing, but you never know with these album covers. Also, wait, is he doing a peace sign? I can't tell if that's his hair or he has 3 fingers up for some reason. No, that must be his hair. Yeah, this cover is just obnoxious. With all the cringe allegations out there, I don't think this is really doing them any favors. The infamous Party Next Door album, Party Next Door 4. Whoa! I can't show that. I do remember this coming out, but I never really looked at it up close like this. That's crazy. I hope she consented to this picture. Honestly, that's kind of a crazy move. In a world of rappers that just talk about all the hoes they get, Party Next Door is hitting you with some proof. Y'all keep talking. Here is an image. There's got to be an alternate version of this where it's more censored, right? Because technically nothing that lewd is being shown, I guess. Nothing directly that you can't show, but oh my god, this is like No Love Deep Web level of an album that you cannot be caught listening to. Parental advisory on this is so funny too. I think they know. I think if your kid is asking to listen to this album, you know it's not Yo Gabba Gabba or anything. I can't even look at this. This is crazy. Popular monster by falling in reverse. He always has to make it about him. Oh, yeah. To be fair, this one is just Ronnie Radke's face, but I did include it in my video about bad album covers, so take with that information what you will. I don't know any of the lore of this album, so I don't know if this is the case, but it looks like a mugshot, which if it is, what did he go to jail for? Or did he just make it look like a mugshot? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, everything this dude does is just oozing off, ooh, you love to hate me. I'm such a bad guy, but I don't care. I say what I think. I respond to every single critique I get, because that's obviously the definition of cool. Now, if this was a self-reflective album with that title and this cover, and he finally was like, man, I just got so many insecurities. I went to counseling, and I'm realizing why I do these things, why I'm this popular monster. That could be cool. That could be a pretty cool redemption for him, you know? But it's not that. It's just him doing the same stuff, being an annoying little dude. So yeah, this one is just his face. Does that in itself make it a bad album cover? Yes. If you know Hudson Mohawk, look up the cover to his album Cry Sugar. I have genuinely never seen a piece of art so aesthetically revolting as that painting. It is a genuine feat to create something so unappealing that I have to respect whoever made it. Great setup, and coming from the guy that made Seabat, I would expect nothing less. Good God, I gotta process what I'm looking at real quick. Seems to be a lady in a bikini hanging out with looking like either the tire guy or the marshmallow Ghostbusters guy, you know what I'm talking about? But he's got a little Donald Duck hat going on. He's also eating a burger, and I don't know if he has 3 arms or if he's reaching around to eat that burger like that. But anyway, it seems like they're teaming up to carry this dude that has a broken back. His face is horrifying. Yeah, this is pretty disgusting to look at. You put it very well using the word revolting, because that's what keeps coming to mind. It's revolting. There's so many individual aspects that are just off-putting and gross put together into one painting that whoever painted this is pretty talented in the art form. Don't know what they're doing with their talent though. Dude's smoking a rainbow cigarette too. Is that why he's so happy? You know, I do got a bad back, but I've got 2 baddies carrying me. High off the rainbow cig. How could life get any better? Hobo Johnson alienates his fan base. You know, I've heard a lot about Hobo Johnson and his really bad music, but I've never seen his album covers. So honestly, if his covers live up to how bad his stuff is, I'll be a little impressed. Oh god. I get it, cause alienates, he's an alien. Why is there money in his eyes? Is this trying to say something deep here about artists alienating their fan base once they get rich? Cause if it's trying to say that, I think it's failing. You know what this feels like? This gives NFT energy. You guys remember those? Back when those things existed, most of them were like very simple 2D pictures, but there were some that were really ugly 3D ones. I mean, they were all ugly, but some were just crazy. This feels like Hobo Johnson made an NFT. There are so many things I hate about this, but man, I cannot stop staring at that hair. It's like badly rendered too. There's like random jagged edges on this noodle hair. But is it rendered or is that like painted? Because his face and his shirt look like it's painted, but his hair looks like it was made in Blender. Multimedia? We looking at a multimedia Johnson? You know, if you're a Hobo Johnson fan, you're genuinely enjoying listening to his weird little ramble music, I would give you a pass before I saw this, but having some of the most annoying music paired with this cover, I don't know if there's any excuses, honestly. Last one, Certified Lover Boy by Drake. I know what you're thinking, but I was shocked to see that I actually haven't talked about this album before, at least in length. I think someone submitted all Drake albums before, but never specifically CLB. I hate this cover. I hate the album too, to be clear, but good God, this cover. The fact that he even went through the thought process to land on this idea is just beyond me. To think, I'm making an album called Certified Lover Boy. I want it to just be about how I'm so in touch with my feelings and I'm just a lover. How do I represent that visually? pregnant emojis. I appreciate the diversity. He doesn't discriminate when it comes to who he's loving, but God, the implication that he's just going around dead people pregnant willy-nilly, especially when there was that whole thing where didn't he put like hot sauce in a condom so that this couldn't happen? You're sending mixed signals here, Drake. Do you want a little Drake empire or not? I know he got this commissioned by some big artist, so I wonder how much he was involved in the idea, or if he just gave him the title of the album and got this back and was like, damn, pregnant emojis. I guess we're rolling with it. Or if he was like, no, dude, I got this idea. 12 pregnant lady emojis. White background. This would take a very short amount of time to do in Photoshop. I can't do it. I don't have the time. So here's $1 million. Do your artist thing. For Drake's sake, I hope it was the first one and he didn't have this specific vision in mind. It's also not going to age well at all. The pregnant emoji might already look different. Okay, he's good for now. The pregnant emoji looks the same, but the second they change that emoji, what are you doing, Drake? You're living in the past. Certified lover boy, more like certified bad album cover. That's the video. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. And if you really like the video, hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, here's your complimentary blustre point. And yeah, bye.